think for Team Taka, I would like their draft a little bit more if they had, spread the initiation burden out a little bit more. Like we see Puck very frequently in this series. We've seen quite a few Nick Assassins, a lot of Bat Riders. For right now, like for Taka, the method to start the fights, it's almost got to be PTT or bust. Like he's not going to start the fight with scouting out for someone. It has to be at that point a Doom with like a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger or something along those lines, and that's also just not really what you want to be doing with. That's not really what we see from Doom in this patch. First of all, usually it's going to build very, very tanky items and just look to be just this giant brick wall. And even if you do land that Doom on someone, that doesn't actually guarantee you start a fight unless everyone else is there. You need like a tornado at that point or an ice wall just to try to control some of the opposition. So I think that that's probably the biggest weakness here that Team Taka have, and you can't really say the same about SG. They have an Arrow, they have Moonlight Shadow, they have Lasso, they have Rupture, they have all these tools in order to start these engagements. Oh, already Theo, spotted by the Ancient Apparition. Obviously he's going to try to go for this Bounty Rune steal, but actually, yeah, we'll see if he's able to make it happen. We do have Bardinho in the area. Dual Breath does a lot of damage. Leposa is here as well. The slows the eye hit anime are going to be really severe. They do fire the arrow a little bit too early, but doesn't even matter. There's a Death Pulse heal. I'm not really sure if it's going to do it. Theo is not willing to dive the tower here. I think they could have actually killed the Necro if they went for it. It's real dangerous, of course. Ogre is gonna get to the south first. Do you see the Jakiro cross the street? He's gonna go right towards that top lane. I thought he was, in that position you usually are looking for a courier snipe. Jakiro, though, is not a fast hero. He didn't have an observer ward to see a courier that will be moving out, so not really a possibility. But already, I hate anime. He had to take a very long trip back to the fountain, and the creeps were just spawning, so it doesn't really bother him all that much. But already we see him be just constantly poked and prodded by this bounty hunter. He needs this stick and the wand upgrade if he's going to survive at all in this lane. But it's going to be already a lot slower than he would really like. Bat Rider just needs one creep kill right now to get level 2, and then he can just straight kill the Necrophos. Like, not even joking. That is entirely possible since the Necrophos does not have the magic wand yet. Into a little bit of a fist fight here with PTT, but Nick's Assassin is very, very difficult to deal with. Even if he doesn't have a poor man shield, he still has that high base regen, still has a good amount of armor, and so we'll deplete the Mirana's mana pool. But as you said, Mirana's still doing okay in the last hits. Invoker can't really challenge her, not until he gets level 2 or level 3 in the Exhort. Theo, well, he is going to make a rotation in. There was sentry in the mid lane. Looks like it has been cleared out, but killing off Masha is really difficult. If he micros at all, keeps the Forge Spirit in between him and the Mirana, obviously Arrow's not going to land.
Bountiful.
Shadowburn's trying to draw some aggro here. Body blocks, though. The creeps are going to get distracted by the trolls. Gotta kill the trolls. That's what you're paid to do, not attack the enemy heroes. And they'll all be killed off here. Shadowburn up against a double damage bounty hunter. Got to be a little bit careful here. He just wants to stick around and get experience, but I think standing right here, you're still going to be able to see those creeps die. Either way, it is going to be bounty hunter still being an absolute nuisance. And, well, this game is looking a little bit more like game 2. Opposed to game 3, we have we have a Bloodseeker, obviously having an absolute free time up against no heroes. We have Mirana having a good time against the Evoker in bottom lane as well. The Bat Rider is rather unchallenged, although William and Pale can just dance around this vortex. A couple more chilling touch shots though will get the kill. Seems like I may have spoken a little bit too early. I was going to say SGE had firm control of 3 lanes, but seems like that is, again, a little bit too early to say. Just looking to mess with this Doom. Fighting over this 4-minute bounty rune seems like that's entirely Theo's. And there is another sentry over in the mid lane, and I gotta assume at this level ADR is paying attention to that. And there's someone who just showed up in the mid lane. He had a sentry ward, and now it's not there anymore, so it's somewhere here. Be careful. But Mirana, even with the Invoker right now, is not getting all that much help from the Bounty Hunter. He's gonna secure himself a haste room, but there's not really many places where he can go to actually help out. I hate anime is going to be aggressed upon slightly here by Leposa, but a third hero showing up, and it's not going to be an option any longer. But still, this Batrider by himself is driving several heroes to this bottom lane, and Theo is going to find the courier, trying to juke this little whatever it is actually going to live. Sorry. Oh, that's kind of heartbreaking. Sorry, team, I couldn't do it. I wasn't good enough.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Seeing stars?
A lot of really deep vision here for the SG Esports side. Nick Assassin can't really do all that much when you're perma-stunned. PTT is going to now teleport towards top lane with Shadowburn's holding the fort pretty well. Most of the CS that we see, though, I want to say, is just going to be random neutrals here and there, so it's going to be perhaps a little bit inflated. Oh, Leposa bottom lane will get dropped. 4 for 4. Looks like he's going to get dropped as well. Theo is going to die. Wow, that was a death pulse in there. I did not see that cast. There's a double kill for I Hit Anime. Now full HP, full mana on this bottom lane with phase boots is much more difficult for this Batrider to deal with now, but this does seem like it's pretty standard Leposa. It always seems like he dies a handful of times as the Batrider in lane and then comes back really, really huge as he gets his blink hit.
Regeneration.
This build from Invoker is certainly an aggressive early one. At least he really wants to be able to contest this Piranha's farm. With his exhort levels, just have massive base damage with the double null talismans is going to drastically slow down that Hand of Might buildup, but make him do a lot of extra damage in exchange. Raindrop as well picked up on the Invoker is certainly getting its value here up against the arrow landing, up against the Starstorm spam from ADR. Masha is going to be playing a pretty slow Invoker style as of right now. Towards top lane though, Doom has abandoned ship, is going to return with very little mana. This is level 2 on Liquid Fire from the hero. There is a Rupture. Shadowburn can hold his ground here, but he does not have Scorcher. He does get just enough mana to actually use it. And now the rotation from I Hit Anime. Costa is dead to the Scythe and the Sunstrike. That's good, and that's why you got to make sure you're gonna dive a Doom with caution, because this guy is incredibly tanky. He also had the Frost Mage armor on him, so +8. Means that Bloodsucker can Rupture, but he can't really do much else.
Death and good are linked.
Looking to get Rune Denial here. We also have Leposa now left alone on this bottom lane up against this AA. He does have to be pretty careful up against the Batrider. Level stack, just 3 or 4, and AA just doesn't have any way of protecting himself. Posa doesn't have any back coming in, and phase boots on the next post. He'll scurry in here as well. So I hit anime on top of the net worth chart right now. Certainly very nice for him, and that counter dive up towards top lane is going to be very nice for the Taka side in general, but still a slight net worth lead being built up here by the SG Esports side. And only matter of time before Costa is going to be able to join the fray. Oh, speaking of joining the fray, Mirana diving deep for Masha is going to fail to get the kill. ADR going in way too far for that kill is going to get punished. There's 4 stacks of napalm on the Necrophos. He does have the stick right now. Lasso, I don't think he's going to be able to get any kills here to get more regen. No. Theo's going to grab that kill, and then level 4 on the Bounty Hunter. They do pick off I Hate Anime. With the Mirana rotation in, Ring of Aquila turn on, plus Liquid Fire level 2. Some pretty decent damage into this tower. They have to make sure to go back to their other lanes with the other heroes, and the Posta will handle mid. Top lane's being handled by Costa still. Up against that Doom, but that's a big pickoff. Killing off the Necrophos under any circumstance is great, and getting AA as a bonus on top of that while losing nothing, that's going to be a pretty nice exchange for SGE, especially if they do get power, which they will. Liquid Fire level 2, really, really potent ability.
Illusion.
Masha. He's bleeding, he's slowed, he has PTT here. There is a hero to arrive, throws out some fire, throws ice on the Invoker. The Nyx Assassin just being in the area presents a little bit too much threat there from SGE. They did not have their Mirana jump in on that. You could bet they would have went in if they did. Mirana instead just continuously shoving out this bottom wave is to be aggressed upon slightly, but there's not really much that they have in order to catch out that Mirana, and that's just a little bit of that weakness that I was talking about earlier, where Taka don't really have that way of initiating outside the Nyx and the Vendetta. He's going to see a couple of the extra heroes rotate in. Shadowburn pings are out, so they do see that Theo was here. Been perhaps a little bit of a disappointing game for Costa. Rotated around to the mid lane, got nothing with that Rupture. Used Rupture earlier on top of the Doom, got nothing from that as well. Now his tower is going to be denied up on top lane. If they Rupture this Doom, he doesn't have ice armor anymore, so maybe? Oh no, he still does, it just doesn't have an icon. Thank you, Val. He needs a TP out. There's ice patch for that. They'll Doom with the Bloodseeker and try to race. Bloodseeker, get in there, you coward. I think they could have raced for that, but instead Doom is going to just shrug it off and now just chop down the dragon. Sunstrike will get the kill. He's going to survive, Bloodseeker. Right? Yeah. He's fine, he's fine. But Doom just absorbing 2 Ruptures now is just wrecking everyone who comes to challenge him on the top lane. Net worth-wise, he's not doing great, but he's brick walling all of these SGE heroes. Like they actually gave the tome over to the Jakiro on the SG side, so yeah, Jakiro with a higher level, quite nice with those arcane boots, but it's clearly not enough damage to challenge a Doom. And deciding to go for that instead of a track may signal maybe perhaps SGE looking to switch things up just a little bit as far as their planned playstyle is concerned. Those 2 ruptures on the Doom just with a couple heroes, that was not really advisable. If they rotate anyone in that top lane, even a bounty hunter, I feel like they could have gotten that kill just with a shuriken. Obviously Mirana gets that kill, Batrider gets that kill pretty easily with the lasso and the bleed, but SGE are looking like they're trying to be a little bit too greedy, buying space with only a handful of heroes. Once the Batrider does get his Blink Dagger, then they'll be ready to make some larger scale moves as a team, but that's still a little bit of a ways away. Taka, they are with this Nyx Assassin with Vendetta, so he is ready to start playing his game. And of course, if you Vendetta someone, if you impale them, you're going to Sunstrike them as well, which should be a kill most of the time. There is the Veil and the Necrophos that can do quite a bit of damage from him only, though. That's like really the issue with Veil, at least in this game, is that you know, a lot of the burst damage is coming out from Invoker, from the Sunstrike. That's pure, and you know, Doom. It's got the Doom, which is great, but it's also pure. I guess Scorched Earth is going to be amplified as well. And you're not looking for a lot of magic resistance value when you're picking up that Veil of Discord, since even if it's just personal, you're fine. But for right now, it still will be enough to kill off these heroes. I mean, SG, their bounty hunters really weak health-wise. Everyone else, 1,000 HP, sounds like a lot, but you can really grind through that very, very quickly if you just cold snap someone, if you death pulse them once. Suddenly they're at half HP with right clicks and you can scythe them. It's not that hard to find those kills once you are actually ready as the Necrophos. You have the mana and the cooldowns and whatnot, so it is going to be an SGE with a slight lead here, but unless they change their playstyle or unless they get this Blink Dagger on bat, it doesn't seem like they're really in control of this game. Hunters like really deep in. This is the type of position you see bounty hunters in if you're looking for courier snipe. It looks like he was actually not too far away from seeing it, but level 4 bounty hunter needs to hit the courier, I think, 3 times to get the... It's not going to be enough, so yeah, bounty hunter is kind of a non-factor in this game. We've seen Theo just destroy some of the previous games for SG Esports, and this time is just a little bit of a slower one. We have seen Theo just go off certain times as bounty hunter, not in this game, so he does need to try and survive an engagement, try to like witness an invoker kill or something along those lines, just to get a huge pot of experience for him. No real opportunities for that as of yet. Gotta love the SA pause. There's like some time, and these games, I've been casting SA games from these qualifiers for like I think like a week straight or something like that. So many pauses, and every other region like no pauses, and if there is a pause, like immediately they'll say like, sorry, this happened and we have to fix this. At SA, it's like, I mean, at least this time they were like, oh, you know, lag or whatever, disconnect immediately, but just like pause, and everyone's just like, okay, good, pause, let's just sit here then. And I mean, yeah, sure, we want to see the players play at their max, but you know what, there's also like 6 or 7 casters here. They just gotta sit through this, man. Like, I'm complaining for myself, and I'm also complaining for those guys. This is the worst, sitting here with nothing happening. No one in Twitch chat wants to watch this either. You can tell he's a little bit impatient because of that. Usually it's just go or ready, but it's like, no, please start this game. Please let me play. He's gonna slip away either way and try to head up towards that top lane. It's free for right now. Batrider may snag a little bit of time there, although it looks like with these stacks cleared, he'll be most of the way towards his blink. Actually circling around back towards mid. I really want to see Theo just go to a lane that's empty, just camping it for a couple minutes and get that level 6. I guess he's doing that mid. Get that one. Is there dust? He's gonna try to TP out. I think that's not gonna work. He probably was just gonna freeze just from the cold feet. It would have been actually enough to TP out, but gives his life for the career. Gonna be a lot of gold, and is gonna give him actually just enough experience to push that level 5 mark. So yeah, certainly not bad, considering top lane was occupied by Lapota. It does have the blink dagger now. Bottom lane is being pushed by solo Jakiro of all heroes. But, you know, when you're a low-level bounty hunter like that, yeah, you're gunning for that level 6, but you're also just kind of expendable. So you're gonna spend the bounty hunter in that fashion and look for a invis gank on bottom, where it seems like I Hate Anime is gonna see this one coming. I think they may have seen over in the mid lane that Moonlight Shadow, so he is super defensively positioned. You cannot kill him right now, but they can kill someone else. Nyx Assassin is going to see a handful of heroes. There is no true sight here. Now the Vendetta onto the Jakiro. Sunstrike as well. Should straight get the kill. They'll lose the Ancient Apparition though, as the Rupture does go out. So I heard the Rupture. Not really sure on who this Necrophos actually sitting here bleeding. And in the Firefly will survive. Heals just enough from the stick and the Death Pulse. It's going to be a 1-for-1, but a lot of ultimates used there from SGE.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is gonna wait another 50 seconds until he has another lasso. And Barana's getting BKB first. That is a really good item to have in the game. Sure, Scythe immediately with the Sunstrike, almost enough to get the kill. It will be. Woo. Now there are things you just don't expect in Dota. A Necrophos walking up to you while you're at full HP and scything you is definitely one of them. But the follow-up was there with the rock and the Sunstrike, so ADR sniped to all hell. Now Shadowburn, as I said, gone for that tanky build with the drums. His boots is difficult to dislodge. They'll throw a Macro Pyre, they'll throw an Ice Path, a little bit of damage here and there, but PPT coming in from behind now is going to set up onto the Batrider. He'll fly over, and he should be just fine from that Doom, but that will, of course, leave this Jakiro alone. Be chopped down by Shadowburn. At the same time, Theo is continuously throwing out those tracks. Shuriken will cancel the TP, and will get them their first track kill of the game. For SG Esports, is actually a great exchange. Losing the Jakiro for Doom is already worth it, but track gold on top.
Well-gotten gain.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
EGT. He is going to get hit with the lasso. Firefly is there. He'll drag him right back into some stars. Super easy track kill there for Theo, as he already has 2. Seems like get track immediately, throw out a couple, and yeah, lose your tier 1 tower. That wasn't denied, I don't believe. Yeah, it should have just been Dire taking. No wait, Dire took down a tower. Where did Dire take down a tower? I don't know. But either way, they do take down a tower in the mid lane. But overall, a really great trade for the SG Esports side. And as they do take down these towers, more opportunities for the Spat Rider to get going. Mirana. Okay, this is not a BKB first. This is a Dragonlance first. Looks like it was on the Courier when I checked last. It is going to actually be able to dish quite a bit of damage. Assassin burning through the team's clock by quite a bit, and Assassin used to be a hero that you could just lag with and it doesn't really matter, but since they changed the Impale to not be able to point, click, target, and land every single time, much more difficult to actually play this hero with lag. So he does get my condolences and whatnot, but you know, you should also get good internet. I do appreciate a good internet. You could tell the admin is keeping an eye on this situation, and from what I gather, there's 10 minutes of pause time for Taka in total. At least halfway up by now. So if the admin is at all competent at enforcing the rules, like, I mean, I like Team Taka's chances here in this game, but I don't really like them 4v5. Seems like a hard game 4v5. That's the worst. I mean, it shouldn't... It's not that it should be removed from the players. It's that they don't have that choice. Like, in the rulebook, that is not a choice. But, like, weak-willed admins have sometimes given players that option. And it's like, come on, bro. If you're going to have a rulebook, if you're going to have a huge doc with rules and timings and penalties and the amount of pause duration, and you're actually going to enforce it, you got to enforce it all the way. You can't half-ass it. Do you want to press charges? Really? Mm-hmm. Fighting games, we real esports now. Got rules, got DQs. Yeah. Yeah, I think they're asking for a little bit of pause duration. That is thumbs up, it looks like. What a good guy, this Bardino. And they're playing one game away from just winning this whole thing, having that slot at ESL One, and that's not bad. That's not bad. Going to Hamburg is quite nice. And hey, when you're actually at the LAN, you don't have to worry about issues like this because it's going to be affecting everyone. So he's going to come back just in the nick of time. ESL Shady dropping the law. And Nick Assassin, he's back. He may have some ping, but it's better than having no fifth player. Alright, we're back, but unfortunately for Taka, they just have to cross their fingers and hope that no natural disaster strikes and they lose internet on like 3 of their players. But if they do, it's just game over. One bad slip of the technical end of things, and SG Esports are just in.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Salamene smiles
Radiant
upon me.
structures
Rotations
are
onto I Hate Anime.
fortified.
EP coming straight in. He will be ruptured, and that's going to be a bump into an arrow.
Dire's middle tower.
I'm not really sure if the arrow would have landed otherwise. They were throwing a lot of spells that, you know, look like it's gonna stun, but they don't actually stun. But that small, like 100 or like 50 range of the break, that may have just made the difference. They kill off the Necrophos. That was a track kill as well as the fact that Bardino was left on the bottom lane, and with the liquid fire, he was able to take down that one. Taka, they just lose a hell of a lot in just that one exchange. The worst part of it is that Batrider did not use Lasso, so that's going to be up in another 5 seconds.
For the twins. Almighty money. Death and gold are linked.
Out of my way!
Show up in the mid lane. Showing off that Agony Scepter throws out a tornado. It is going to be Batrider, I would assume, looking to make that next play. And there is a Forge Spirit in the area. There's an invisible Batrider in the area, plus Batrider spotted by this Forge Spirit. So no surprises here, but it is going to be that constant threat. Taka, specifically Nick Assassin, the lagging Nick. They have to be on the ball with the counter initiation should the lasso land on someone. Tornado from the Invoker is also a pretty decent way at making sure your allies are kept safe, since the Batrider does not have BKB, nor does he have a Force Staff. He's going to try to go for a double pull with the Flame Break. That's gonna work out perfectly. Even though the creeps got bumped out and then went back in, still racking up the dough. Should be pretty close to his BKB, and then initiation is going to be entirely safe. Oh, they smoked at the exact same time as Bounty Hunter threw out a track. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but it seems pretty obvious from where I'm sitting that the plans from Team Taka are going to be looking for this aggressive play. And it would have been at a perfect time too, since Costa would have been a very, very vulnerable position right around the corner from a Radiance. He's going to smoke up without having that item. I'm not sure if I like this from SGE. They definitely do have the edge in that Taka will be more likely to spread out after their own stealth smoke. So they will be able to maybe catch someone out for free, and it looks like it may be I Hate Anime. Better start loving it. He's going to get right back into the silence on the arrow in this heart. Oh my god, that was overkill. Now it's time to get out. Get out, get out, get out, and everyone will be fine. That's going to give him the Radiance? Just about.
prize is mine.
Item going to be a Radiance. Would be a pretty decent item to have up against that Mirana, against that Bloodseeker, and the fact that SGE, you could pretty quickly again grind them down with this Veil and that's properly damage from the Radiance if you actually do have it. But it's also a very, very expensive item to get for Necrophos. It takes so long to farm that item in a position where I'm not really sure if he's going to have that much time to farm it. Doom, he's going in pretty deep. Does have a Blink Dagger. Is going to have that spotted out by Theo, and you can very easily cancel the Blink Dagger with just one simple Urn or Janata or everything. That's all good. Shadowburn is dead on top. Another track kill. It's still level 1 track, but man, Bounty Hunter is at least at like 5 right now, right? Something along those lines.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Man, Tornado is really good with the Sunstrike. Kills off Bardino. The arrow missed Masha as well. Only one star set lands. Masha still has to deal with Batrider overhead. Will go down as Rupture goes off onto the Nyx Assassin. One more tap is going to get the kill, although the Doom will go out onto the Bloodseeker. He's done his job. The Batrider as well. It'll be a 3 for 2. That Invoker combo was absolutely backbreaking versus those two heroes that stunned themselves up against that Nyx Assassin Spike Carapace. But 3 for 2. It is going to be slightly beneficial here for Team Taka gold-wise. They also just don't have Doom, and that cooldown is so long, and it never really gets shorter. Costa is going to jump for that BKB. BKB was used there on the Batrider, and PTT is going to wander right over a Sentry Ward. It seems like that movement, you should realize that, hey, I was spotted. He may still think that this is safe if he hasn't quite got that read. You could send the Macro Pyre and Spike Carapace to set up something, but it's not going to happen. There is no Batrider just yet. Spawn with Lasso. So that should be the timing at which SG Esports look to make their next play. We'll see a Nyx Assassin this time. Does land that Impale combo with the Ice Blast on Theo. No. He scoots over the hill, dodges the Ice Blast, dodges the Tornado, and dodges the Sunstrike. Now the arrow turnaround. Oh, the Nyx Assassin walked right into it. He is going to return the stun duration onto the Mirana somewhat, but he's still in a really bad position. And they do jump in really deep, looking for the Invoker. He's bleeding. He's stuck in the Silent Circle, and he's going to get bumped out closer to Bloodseeker, making it a 2-fer for the SG Esports side. Shadowburn is doing what he can, but what he can do is not that much because the Doom does not have his namesake ultimate. So he's just got to settle for a little bit of burn damage from that Scorched Earth. That's 2 kills for SG Esports. And my, that target selection was impeccable. The arrow is going deep. That was almost going to land. Not quite. SG Esports, though, they redeemed that last fight and then some. I mean, it's the fact that he grabs him away from the shrine and but oh, Bounty Hunter is gonna get you baited to a kill. No, he's fine. Shadowburn is charging in. Blink forward will get the kill with the Scorched Earth. They are gonna dust him up, and they see him. That was such a quick sight there from I Hate Anime. My God, but Shadowburn's gonna get bled out, and Storm. No, it's the Blood Right that'll get killed, making it ultimately not a terrible trade here for the SG Esports side. And the Lasso is casted onto the Nyx Assassin, bringing him right back in. Chain Stun with the Ice Path, and you're dead too. Yeah, that was even worse. But I was gonna say, like, for the post, he had the BKB up. He had every single hero in sight, but he took his damn time. He waited a very long time with that BKB to grab that invoker. He knew what hero to go for, and he took time to go for it. I mean, at this point now, to get even more kills, so that other fight was kind of ancient history at this point, but still, it's going to be 2 kills, including that assassin, which means, hey, they can't actually crash this fight. They'll ice blast it, but it won't land on Taka. ADR is going to get himself a double life with this Lincoln Spear instead of that BKB. Mirana's going to be really damn difficult to deal with, not to mention the Blood Seeker also getting the BKB of his own.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Spoil that shot.
Is gonna get cheesed out. No, they missed the scythe? What the hell? How do you miss the scythe? I hate anime now. We can take a lot of damage from the Batrider. And even if they do land a scythe, it wasn't Aegis anyway. She's gonna respawn, and oh man, Bloodseeker is moving really, really quick. Shadowburn gonna try and take down ADR. Not a chance in hell. PTT on his way out is tracked up. Ice Path will miss, but Liquid Fire doesn't miss. And that's gonna kill off a third. That was... I mean, I like the attempt. Like, you're, again, only real option is set up with an assassin. Execution had a little bit to be desired though, and Mirana will lose her Aegis, but for 3 kills and for probably a tier 2 tower, I'll take that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Coming up, I want to say the vast majority of the recent pickoffs have been track kills. Still only level 1 track, so it could have very easily been level 2 at this stage. Theo, hey, he's gonna grab level 12, so now he does have that level 2 track. PGT knows that there's a bounty hunter here. He doesn't really want to do anything about that. Can't do anything about that. In death form, no true sight. So now Theo's going to have that level 2 track to throw out. Even more gold going towards the SG Esports side, and already this bounty hunter, just with the amount of tracks that he's gotten, of course surviving for a good majority of these fights, is going to be looking towards a pipe. At that point, I mean, nice veil, nice radiance in the Necrophos. He's going to get brick walled by this bounty hunter. Once that barrier comes up, SG Esports are going to be damn near unkillable to magic damage, and no one's really doing physical damage, so I don't really know how they deal with that pipe. Just try to burst the bounty, I suppose. Necro rolled into an ice path. They don't have the final killing blow. It's a little bit slow incoming, so he will be able to get the Ghost Shroud out. PTT, though, is in the Silent Circle and ruptured. He's dead to the Blood Right. Now Master treats as the Doom was pulled out onto the Bloodseeker. He'll be just fine. Although SG, do they really want to continue? Yes, there's a Sage Ward here. Theo will know about it, so it looks like that should about be it. Not really the kill that they were going for. The backup of the Mirana or the Bloodseeker were a little bit too far off, but still, it's going to be a kill, and it's going to be Doom pulled out. That is the longest cooldown on the map right now. It will be forever, really, so they can very easily play around that with another last one.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ooh, Costa, he's going to have to pop a BKB just to survive. That's another big cooldown there, and he will TP out. Can Taka do anything here? Can't. They just don't have the heroes to start fights.
Coin for me. Bountiful.
There's no true sight here on Shadowburn. If Theo just stops moving, then Shadowburn will just walk right by. Hit the brakes and it'll fly right by. And over in the bottom lane, they are going to find Nyx Assassin. He is going to get spiked out, but not going to save him. The boat is actually going to grab that kill. I Hate Anime will leave through TP. Nyx Assassin again sniped, and I mean, yeah, usually at this point in the game, you're like, oh, you know, you gotta kill the next one, you gotta kill the Invoker. But taking out the Nyx Assassin means that you have absolute free reign of the map. Wherever you want to go, you can go. So this target selection of SGE has been very, very careful, very deliberate, and I think just strictly the right targets have been selected.
Who spoiled that shot?
Assassin pushing out. There is now a sentry on the deck. He's going to hold his impale though against that Force Staff, and now Theo at this point is a little bit too far away. Sentry is up. Bardino is spotted. Impale is going to be cast just in the nick of time. That'll set up for a pretty easy Jakiro. Force Staff out, not going to do it. Over in the meantime, in the mid lane, they go ahead and make it a 1-for-1 trade. Look at that combo. Rupture and Lasso. Feels bad, man. It's a 1-for-1 trade. AA is essentially nothing, though, to the SG Esports side. That was no track, but Masha is worth just a little bit here. Here comes the Mirana, although the Bounty Hunter is going to take way too much damage. It should be ADR to seal the deal here. A couple more right clicks, arrows, 2 more from a distance will get the kill. Now even onto Shadowburn. He's going to start laying in those right clicks, although the arrow will be tanked by the creep wave. ADR now jumped by the Nyx Assassin. Does have a Lincoln Sphere, but Shadowburn's right on top. Will leap out Mirana, but that's still not going to save her. Ice Blast was also coming in just in case, so SG Esports getting perhaps a little bit too ahead of themselves right now. Looking for kills kind of greedily around the map without the prop backup. It's just the nature of these type of heroes for Taka. Again, Nyx Assassin is always going to be a little bit of a mystery as to whether or not he's going to be able to perform because of how finicky Impale is as a spell. If you look at Batrider in comparison, it's like, well, are you going to miss the lasso? Maybe, because we saw a missed Scythe earlier, so it's not impossible, but if you're jumping in on someone, you're not going to miss the lasso unless they have a Manta Style or a Lincoln Sphere. Maybe a quick Yule Scepter from Necrophos. Self-Yules can make that miss a little while, but for the most part, every single initiation from SG is going to work whenever they cast it, whereas same cannot be said for Taka. So ease of execution working out decently well for SG Esports right now, although they are still just waiting for a target. Posa, Invis Rune, he's going to scout out and see a couple of sentries here and there, not too surprised about that. They're just waiting for Roche. If they can pick off beforehand, great. Otherwise, I'm still pretty sure they're going to be happy just going in for that Roshan. They're going to actually play Shadow up and head top lane, maybe?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Force Staff, Lincoln. Oh, it wasn't even cast. Wouldn't have worked. So he still has that cooldown. But the cooldown isn't even that long. So that would have been an absolute disaster. Though. Losing your Invoker is that they immediately go into Roche, which SG are going to find out about very soon. Assume just a napalm in. Someone's going to scout it out, or they're just going to take down all the vision first. Over in the bottom end of the Bloodseeker is doomed up. Sunstruck as well. Impale is not going to work, but the Scythe will. And also Bardino is not in a good spot right now. Yule Scepter from the next post. Invoker's going to arrive with a Deafening Blast and a couple right clicks. EMP will kill off the Jakiro. SG Esports lose the Bloodseeker with the Doom initiation. Can't do anything about this. The Bloodseeker, I thought it just said he had buyback. Yeah, he does have buyback. Looks like he bought something and then something along those lines. But the tier 2 tower is going to fall, and now for Taka, pretty big opportunity to make a play, and although they are not working with all their assets. I don't know how they start a fight in the enemy base without a scythe. Is it Agged? It's not Agged, it's still down, so is the Doom. They're just gonna jump in with this Invoker. Ice Blast is coming in, 80 no mana actually. Oh, he's still gonna be able to get out of there though. A little bit of chip damage onto this tier 3. Bloodseeker is gonna be forced to buy out now. Laposa up in the sky looking for a straggler. There are going to be no stragglers that are gonna be valuable. They'll find an AA perhaps. No one's teleporting in towards the shrine. AA is still out of range because of nighttime. Can't find anyone. They get out clean.
Illusion.
The prize is mine.
Maybe smoke up running straight into a Batrider. The way you want to initiate. Laposa does have the gem as a BKB, but is certainly not completely immune. Doom's ultimate still 20 seconds off until they have that. Smokes will kind of pass right by each other. There's only an AA remotely in the area. SG Esports, they can still just walk in and take this tier 2, and actually AA is now spotted, so if they want to kill him, they can. It looks like they want to kill him. They will. Oh, up to the side, though. Bounty Hunter, Force Staff out, is not going to save him. He's not going to have track for this fight. They do Rupture Shadowburn, though, and the damage is going to commence. BKB is already up on the Bloodseeker. Though he is doomed, he doesn't really care. He can still continue this fight if there was a fight to be had. There's not. No, there is actually. PTT is off in the middle of nowhere. Ice Pack will lock him in. And they will get the kill here with the Starstorm and the right clicks. 3 for 1 so far. And Doom again, his ultimate takes so long to come back up. Oh my, this Roshan should be pretty free, although there is an Ice Blast to worry about. Bloodseeker isn't quite healthy yet, so maybe they'll have to wait for a little while longer. Oh, Masha. Why? He's just dead. You can't afford to check out Roche by yourself as Invoker. I think the plan was to walk in and start spamming Tornado, but it didn't work. Uh-oh.
I could have hit Roshan with my eyes closed.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Immortality. My last thought, I curse you.
Dire's bottom tower is
I
under
was gonna make a point in that I've either been dodging this Batrider really well, or SG Esports have been really struggling to find Batrider's last initiations, and that's what really set them up for this bottom lane push, which is now actually going to kill off that tier 3 tower. But I don't really think that's a point that can be made anymore, because Laposa now just 2 times, 2 cooldowns, like almost instantly off of one another, gets 2 kills. Out the Aegis and Cheese, I mean, they may lose their shrines, but it's going to be pretty darn easy, I would say, for SG Esports to continue this pace of game, this pick-off style, and keep Taka just locked up in their base.
Double damage. Beautiful.
See, the line is drawn from Brown. ADR and Costa will back off with one another. There is cheese and Aegis between the two of these heroes, and a shrine. So I'm not really sure if they can do anything about that. That movement from Theo is going to blow the entire thing, and he will also just straight spot out the Invoker. Any help that's coming in, they're kind of rotating in, but it's going to be too slow to punish this Invoker's positioning. Either way, that smoke would have been a big opportunity for Taka to actually make some sort of play there. They do have the Doom, and this is the time to use it. It's such a long cooldown. You want it to be cooling down the entire game, not available to you, which is rotting there. He is gonna look at ADR. Sure, bursting this Mirana if you land an Ice Blast, you can't cheese, or he's just gonna get jumped because there's a gem, and he's going to be able to actually stay for a very long time thanks to that fight character. His backup isn't coming, so he's dead anyway. They can just camp out here, as I said, just hard contain, 40 seconds, every 40 seconds look for a kill, and maybe occasionally poke the tower with like a Mirana or with a liquid fire, but there really is no rush here for SG.
Double damage.
Still pushing in the buyback. They're going to jump in on the mana, impale her, burn her mana, but she's not Ice Blasted. She could cheese if she needs to. Just get force staffed out instead. Here comes the Ice Blast. Oh. Almost. Wouldn't have even killed. But yeah, SG, they lose only their supports. They even trading their supports for a Doom cooldown. Like, that's not the worst thing in the world for SG Esports. You can see Laposa, I mentioned earlier, has a rough time on Batrider early stages. Like, you know, he'll die times, but once he gets his items, he is just going to mess you up. And speaking of, he's and now stuck in the ice wall. Never mind. He's going to mess up that one. I guess. Good PK beating, still got the kill. If he was insane. If he was a god. It's also worth noting that Bloodseeker had like a haste rune and a DD rune in that bottom lane fight, which is certainly very helpful when you're a Bloodseeker.
Illusion.
Gonna get Mantis Style after the BKB Lincolns, a little bit of extra defensive power here from the Bloodseeker, and actually the Invoker taking the #1 spot in net worth is extremely impressive for Masha. But the way that this Invoker is still forced to play in such a way that he's looking to push out the waves very aggressively is going to consistently put him at risk. We can already see Laposa was ready for the Invoker. He's going to back off this time, but all this net worth being popped up into one hero is kind of a double-edged sword. He's going to be so powerful, but it's also going to be a huge hole in your lineup if he's going to get dropped. They arrow a Nyx. I don't know if they noticed. Laposa doesn't have Firefly just yet. Never mind. He does. Does have another lap. They're just hitting the hell out of Taka right now. It's only a matter of time before Laposa finds someone. That, I feel like, is an inevitability. Marana sees the Nyx, sees the Spike Carapace. Gotta watch out. Arrow will connect onto the Invoker. Are they gonna go in on that? There is no Firefly, so it looks like this time they can. Ice Blast coming in to clearing out these illusions. Tower at 5 HP broke down. Now shrines are available, but it looks like they have their eyes set on perhaps some fatter objectives in the racks. And ADR with Lincoln Spear is going to be spamming these arrows 24/7. And again, lasso, it seems like landing an arrow is an inevitability unless Taka do this. Start a fight onto the Marana first thing. Ice Blast, where is it? She is going to get doomed, and with the Scythe, will be not able to fuck Cheese. Now it's only on to the Blood to do all the damage. It doesn't seem like he has what it takes. So they're going to try to disengage instead. Ice Path will hold them in place, letting the rest of SG just leave. Everyone should be fine here. That's the ideal scenario here for Taka. But Marana is dead for a very long time thanks to that sight.
I must have stepped on something.
Turns off Radiance. Second, too late, gets stunned. And well, they have full vision here, so they know who's chasing him, but he's gonna pop hit, get into the woods. We'll be fine to TP out of them. Taka are still making to pretty decent plays here. Leposa, though, is not supposed to be in this area, even if he lassos someone. Cannot kill by himself. He needs backup. We'll have to wait for the Marana to come back, but we can see Taka, they bust out of this contain, and the cooldown of the Doom ultimate is more or less going to line up with the cooldown of Marana's respawn. So they'll have that again for perhaps the future. It is not easy to land that on Marana. If she's in the front line, she's going to get Lotused by the Hero or Lincoln Sphere by any one of the three that's on the team. So if you can land it, great, but don't depend on it because it's not going to happen all that often.
Death and good are linked. Go, Fowler.
Finds another double damage rune somehow. Right now they're just waiting for Batrider's to be up one more time. He is going to have that talent, so a lot more uptime on that ability. He is just in the air and just searching for those kills. He still has that gem. Leposa has not been brought any time recently. He may have a target here in the Invoker. So it's a little too far away for him to feel comfortable jumping. I mean, by that I mean back of him too far away. But they do drive everyone back. They are going to be the targets of a smoke, though. Doom does have his ultimate. PTT, the Nyx Assassin, is going to have a lot of fire to walk through. Dio is going to be trying to tank this, although 4 staffs down to the low ground. Arrows will be thrown out. None will connect, though. They'll down after. Not sure if that's worth it, because they still have to deal with ADR. They do get the Doom onto the Bloodseeker. They kill him off, but immediately he's going to buy back. And the final lasso onto Shadowburn. They will get onto the Doom with the TP and buyback coming in from the Bloodseeker. It's going to be a lot of Radiant heroes going down. They may Sunstrike the Jakiro. Bardinho may or may not live. It honestly doesn't really matter. They need to go for heroes that matter a little bit more than that. It looks like the Invoker will slip away. You force the buyback on the Bloodseeker, but he will have the Aegis, so it's not really going to matter too much for him. SG Esports do get the upper hand in that engagement just slightly, since they do have now the ability to take down racks.
Double damage.
We find another double damage rune. This one's not really going to do all that much, except for kill the shrine, but this Bloodseeker used to be like the desirable target for SG Esports. I mean, obviously they were like, no one got doomed. if Lincoln Sphere actually worked to block that spell. But they'd rather keep the Mirana alive. She's the one who's actually doing the damage. She has the Daedalus. She has the attack speed. She has the and she's actually opted for a Moon Shard over the Dragon Lance, upgrading to her Pike. It's interesting to see. She's, by the way, approaching that 6-slot status. Invoker pretty much is at that 6-slot status right now. So farm is going to be closing down for some of these heroes. This is a really big, if not risky, timing from SG Esports. They have the agent, they have the cheese on someone. Where is it? See, that's on the Mirana's backpack. She actually has 2 of them. They're once again going to get into position, start fishing with the arrows, start fishing with the Bat Rider. Look to make a lane of racks. Their advantage. Really not going to change the tide of this game by too much. Ooh, they jumped it. Not quite there. PTT now going to get snuff on the Bat Rider, but another Force Staff out. It'll be dodged, and now, ADR is going to slay the Nyx. And we'll call that initiation, but for sure, Bat Rider did not use his lasso. The minute down, arrows still be thrown out. Careful there. This is still so dangerous for Taka. Blast onto everyone, but he's going to get lassoed as he tries to go for the cute plays. Immediately the Invoker is going to go down. Does have a buyback, but that, I mean, the Deafening Blast was sick. It landed on everyone except for so he had the BKB up in time, and the Doom. Well, that wasn't a Doom, that was a Force Staff. I thought he ran into the Lincoln Sphere. That would have been an absolute disaster, like a game-losing display.
Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen.
Seeker is had to buy back, but still is up to gonna have 6k gold ish. There we go. Looks like he's gonna think about going for an Octarine. Very interesting kind of alchemisty build here from the Bloodseeker. Not really interested in actually hitting things for damage as much as just outlasting and kind of out-sustaining the opposition. In the bottom lane though, something's going on here. I completely whiffed that one, guys. They'll take down 2, including the neck post. Buyback is 1,000 gold off. I don't know what he bought, but I can tell you one thing, it was not worth it, whatever he did buy. And now it's going to be looking for 2 lanes of racks. Ice Blast point blank will hit on illusions only. Hero's not even here with Liquid Fire, but they don't give a damn. They're going to go in anyway. Necrophos, the Invoker, both still dead. In the meantime, still fishing the arrows. The Bat Rider is only 10 seconds away from having another lasso. And it looks like Taka might be on their last legs here. They're looking for Shadowburn, won't quite find the Doom. They will drive everyone back, letting Mirana possibly go to work. Force up early BKB on the Doom. He's going to awkwardly Shivas, but they pull back the Invoker. He's in a lot of trouble. He does have a buyback still, but he's going to have to use it almost immediately here. Actually, no, he doesn't have buyback. He's 1,000 gold off. What the hell did he buy? What happened? Where did his buyback go? Guys, please, buyback.